Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Musical, lyrical lingo. Every episode a new bingo. Laugh and sing, go with the flow. Tune in as the memories grow.
Hello and welcome to Musical Lyrical Lingo. We're your hosts, Tim
and LJ. Today and every week we will be discussing musicals, but specifically what they taught us.
What are we doing this week? I couldn't possibly...
Oh, shut up.
Shucks. See, do you hear how she speaks to me?
I know, but you are
And that's
so...
only half of what I get behind the mic.
What evs.
What evs. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're so demanding.
Me demanding? Dear, you have no idea. You think this is demanding? Wait till I get going.
You forget I've known you since you were like 4.
Yeah, that's true.
I know you.
I've definitely mellowed with old age.
Oh, definitely.
You have
but you're
definitely
still like
not.
What does that mean? Like
you haven't mellowed as you've got older?
That's because I didn't need to mellow. You needed to mellow.
I needed to mellow, did I? Wow, right, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, not really.
Well, we'll just have to seize the day and talk about Newsies then.
I think we should do that.
Yeah, before we do that, we'll do some theatre news.
Yeah, do some theatre
All right.
news.
Well,
Perfect.
Hope Mill Theatre has announced that a special fundraising concert of Acorn Antiques the Musical will play a one night in Shaftesbury Theatre in London on the 9th of November. And due to popular demand, a second night at Manchester Opera House on the 16th has also been planned.
That's such a fun musical.
I know, and I would love to see that live.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see that. You know, like you've got your list of musicals that you've never seen.
Mm-hmm.
That's on my list because I love Victoria Woods and I love all of that.
Yeah.
Like,
That
I think it would be right up my street.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting. It's a shame it's just for like a wee...
But
all
then,
that work for a wee fundraising concert.
But that's what... Well, it wasn't a fundraising concert, but you know, concerts are popular.
Is it not a fundraising concert?
No. What I'm about to say wasn't a fundraising concert.
Oh.
I've forgotten the name of the musical.
Something Rotten.
Thank you.
I knew exactly what you were
I was going to say
referring
shocked,
to.
and then I was like, I wasn't shocked.
No, I would love to see it too.
Apparently
in
it was hilarious.
Is it over?
No. Yes, it is over.
Is it over? Oh yes, because Brigadooni's starting, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It started as a concert, and then it's coming to London. So
Something Rotten, yeah.
You know, the fact that they had to put on 2 nights, maybe.
You never know. It could come. It could come.
And we all need a wee laugh nowadays, don't we?
Flippin'-lutely. For sure we do. Something else that's very exciting. It could almost have me across the water. Billy Porter has announced that he will be in an all-black production of La Cage aux Folles next year, June the 17th to the 28th in New York City Centre.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So he'll be playing Alban. That will be wow. That'll, after having seen him in Cabaret, I'm going, oh my goodness, that will be wow. He will be unbelievable. Yeah, so that's exciting.
I love La Cage.
Yes, I love La Cage too. And then another way, I'm all over the new musicals at the moment.
I love it though.
So,
new musicals are great.
A new musical called The Little Dancer is going to be opening this month. So Little Dancer, a new musical in concert, is going to be receiving its UK premiere in the Theatre Royal Drury Lane on Sunday the 27th of July.
Oh.
Yes. Now, it has a really good cast. So Tyler Peck, who is a principal dancer with New York City Ballet, will be playing a young Marie Van Goghen. And she's being joined by Julian Overton, love his voice, Laura Pulford as an adult Maria, and then also Debbie Curup is also going to be in it. So it's based on the story of the young ballerina who posed for Edgar for Edgar Degas' sculpture. The piece was previously seen in the US in Washington, D.C. and Seattle. The musical is written by Lynn Ahrens and Stephen Flaherty, with direction and choreography by Susan Stroman. And I do love a bit of Susan Stroman going on. Yeah. But that sounds interesting to me.
Certainly does.
So the mystery behind the masterpiece is the tagline for the musical. It does sound great. So, as you said, at the moment, it's a Sunday night musical and concert, but we'll see if it has legs, no pun intended, when it's about a ballet dancer. So there you go, Little Dancer, the musical and concert. Exciting.
Very exciting. We do love discovering new musicals, and coming up in the pod soon we will be discussing a brand new musical, but that is for a different episode.
That is for a different day.
Do you know what I do love, Timothy?
What do you love? Me? I know.
Well, apart from you, I love putting on what I call normal channels or normal radio, and something musical happening. It happened recently. I was listening to Radio 2. I'm a big Radio 2 fan. And Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber was on.
Talking about us?
Of course. I just missed that part. He was on just talking musicals, like on a breakfast show. I just love it whenever musicals enter the real world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, 1,000%. And I do think they're becoming much more common, like common culture. Yeah. Is that the right thing? Like it's becoming more of a thing. Yeah. They're more present.
Yes, I think so. And I think obviously your social media and stuff has
I think so. And then,
that too.
You can say what you want, but castings over the last couple of years have also, I think, played into that. The likes of Nicole Scherzinger, and there's Rachel Ziegler at the moment in Evita. I think that, and she's now, there's rumours about her appearing as a Maria von Trapp in a Sound of Musical revival. But, I think when you've got people like that about... more people are talking about musicals, aren't they?
Well, he was talking just about everything, a bit like how he had written a couple of songs for Eurovision and how he didn't have a very good experience in Eurovision, so would not write another song again.
Oh wow!
It was very interesting conversation. He was also talking about Evita and talking about how. Jimmy Lloyd has a vision, and he was happy to just let him go with that vision. Yeah. And he was obviously talking about Rachel and how he paid homage to the original Elaine Page and how stunning she was. But he talked about Rachel's performance in Rainbow High and that she's stunning, outstanding. So it's kind of making me want a cast record now that I can hear it all.
Do you think it'll happen? Well, Sunset got one, didn't it? Eventually. Because for a while you were like, are they going to do a cast recording of Sunset Boulevard? But
I think we mentioned it like last week. If the show is on for longer than 6 weeks, that's your stipulation. Producers, just do a cast recording. Really,
because I suppose that's one thing that Broadway does do well. If we cast back to a couple of episodes ago where we were saying how the system they have on how shows aren't given a huge amount of time to make a name for themselves. But most new musicals that hit Broadway, even if it's for a very, very, very short amount of time, they all seem to have a cast recording done, don't they?
And I remember
which is nice.
Said that to us whenever we were interviewing her. Yeah. Was that was one of her stipulations whenever she was putting on the first version of Millennials, was that there needed to be a cast recording, because how are people going to hear the music without it? And like, how are you going to hear all these new musicals if there's not? Yeah. You need time to listen and process it and try to understand what the story's about. Yeah. Because not everybody gets to see musicals because it's not all accessible.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then in Broadway, should they take them off?
I know.
If they're not doing well enough, Did Andrew Lloyd Webber say anything else about?
Well, apparently there's going to be a new version of Phantom.
Right.
And he's currently working on 2 new musicals. One which will be released pretty soon.
Yeah.
And then one which apparently nobody will know, like as in will be flabbergasted by the topic.
I would say the casting of that will flabbergast people as well.
I wonder what it is.
Well, I mean, I can't say now,
okay,
but
you know,
yeah.
Sure.
I just wondered if he had name dropped me, but clearly not. He's keeping that under his hat.
Not yet. Speaking of hats, we should have been wearing hats for this episode.
Yeah, or caps that I might get onto in one of my musical lingos. Yeah, so let's talk about the best kept secret. Hold on till I open my new book. I've had to start a new book because I ran out of pages on the last book.
So much?
I take this podcast very seriously, I'll have you know. Newsies is a rousing story of Jack Kelly, a 17-year-old newsboy in the 1890s New York City, who leads his fellow newsies in a fight for better wages against newspaper giants Pulitzer and Hearst.
Yep.
Stage musical is based on the 1992 Disney movie musical, which starred Christian Bale as Jack Kelly.
Yeah, music is by my wee mate.
Your fave.
And did you know that I don't think Alan's actually going to be there because I did actually have a wee panic attack whenever I first read it. There's a night with Alan in Dublin, but it's not actually with Alan.
So is it just a night of Alan Menken's music?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like a one night only.
Could you imagine if you got tickets to go and you thought you were going to like see Alan Menken at his piano singing all his best hits, and wee Alan didn't show up? That would be so. You would be raging.
I think I'd cry.
God bless you. Yeah.
I think I'd cry if it was actually Alan on the piano.
However, depending on who's singing them, like that could be a brilliant night because his music's so fantastic.
And so versatile as well. My youngest, as we've discussed before, is obsessed with Little Shop.
Yeah.
We've been moving some stuff about and the DVD fell out and I was like, oh, there's your DVD of so it was on for six times. Because his dream role is the dentist, so he was practicing.
Oh, bless.
Okay. Then he went upstairs and he got his t-shirt that you got him, and he was wearing that. And as he was like practicing, and he goes, "I think I'm ready. If anybody's going to do it, like pretty soon, I can know the words."
He would be a good dentist, actually.
So good.
He'd do that well.
But yeah, he's such a range of music, Alan. But yeah, he's not going to be in Dublin, much to my disappointment.
That's sad.
Lyrics are by Jack Feldman, and he did music for Oliver and Company, which is like the Disney film.
Yeah.
Songs for the new Snow White, which starred Rachel that we just discussed.
Yeah, and the music in that remake is really good.
Yeah, and music in Lion King 2.
Oh, okay.
Which is where the song "He Lives in You" comes from, which is one of my favorites, and obviously it's put into the musical.
Yeah.
And then Harvey Fierstein, wrote the book, and again, I love Harvey.
Yeah, and only this morning it just came. You know when you're scrolling on your phone and like just random videos like pop up. His acceptance speech for his Tony Lifetime Achievement came on this morning, and I was listening to him.
I watched that last night.
It was brilliant.
I love him.
He's fantastic.
And also, we know he did the book for the Cash.
That's right. Oh my goodness, yeah. That's ridiculous.
So strange. And also, one of his famous memorable moments is from Mrs. Doubtfire, where he goes, "Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match." You know.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Alex Caggiatani
and Paul Richmond
from the Education News comedy quiz podcast called Some of the Above.
Each month, Alex and I invite you to play along with two special guest contestants from the world of education as we ask questions about the latest school news.
If you want to laugh while you learn and learn while you laugh, this is the show for you.
So listen to the Education News comedy quiz now, because truly, this podcast will change your life.
You'll sleep better, your food will taste better, and you'll probably get promoted at work.
And I remember seeing him in Broadway in Hairspray because he played Edna Turnblad.
That's right. Yeah. And also, sorry, he also sings "Don't Tell Me Not to Live." Well, sorry, Robin sings that in his scene. So we're always connecting our musicals together.
Honestly, the 1992 movie musical was inspired by the Newsboy Strike of 1899, and the film was a flop.
It was originally
at the box, so it was a flop at the box office, but it did achieve cult classic status on home video and became the most requested Disney musical at that time, not yet to have been adapted for the stage.
Yeah,
so
I love whenever a fan strikes something.
But it should be the way it is. Do you know what I mean? So this demand inspired then the 2011 Paper Mill Playhouse production in New Jersey. Now, the musical was a success, and after a sold-out run, it transferred to the Nederlander Theatre on Broadway in March 2012 for what was to be a limited engagement. This ultimately led to it being played to packed audiences for 2.5 years after extension upon extension upon extension, playing for 1,004 performances.
Yeah.
It was a sleeper of a hit that many didn't see coming. However, it was nominated for 8 Tonys and it did win 2 for Best Original Score, Mr. Alan Menken, and Best Choreography. And if you've seen the show or you've seen a pro shot of the show, you will understand why the choreography is a big deal.
Yeah, massive. Went on a national tour from 2014 to 2016.
Yeah.
And the pro shot was 2017, if I'm correct.
That's right, yeah.
So they did bring back the original cast,
they
which
did.
included Jeremy Jordan, because he had to stop his original run because he was becoming more popular on Smash.
There we go again with our links. Honestly, it's ridiculous. I think it's just because we are looking for them now.
Maybe it is.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. It then took 10 years to come to London. 10!
But I do remember it was one of those shows that everybody was like, when's it getting a transfer? When's it going to come to London? When? Like, it was hotly anticipated.
Yeah.
Like, people waited for a long time, especially after that 2017 pro shot, because that was the first time I was introduced to Newsies. They showed it in cinemas as well over here, and I remember going to see it and going, oh my goodness, what have I just seen? Like, when is that coming to the West End?
It's fab. The music is brilliant. The storyline, it's fun. It is, it wasn't a great story that happened. The Newsboys, but there's a story there that Jeff McDress, but it's the dancing is just sensational.
But I think that's why it works. It is a serious story and a serious plot, but it is presented in an energetic and a fun and lively way.
So it opened at the Troubadour.
It did.
And again, it had one.
So Matt
Olivier.
Cole was the director and choreographer, and he won an Olivier for choreography again.
That's right.
Choreography.
They did
coming
also
out.
win 6 drama desks, the Broadway, and it won the same 2, Best Choreo and Best Score.
And the London production opened on the 8th of March, and it was exciting because it was a brand new immersive in the round production.
That's it. It was flying.
Yeah, directed and choreographed, as I said, by Matt Cole, in this new Troubadour Wembley Park Theatre, which I've just seen Starlight Express in. And it is a unique venue. Like, not everything will be able to go in there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? However, they're cleverly picking what productions go there. Do you know what I mean?
And whenever
I kicked myself I didn't see Newsies, to be fair.
Whenever Newsies closed, I remember people being like, why is it closing? Why is it closing? Well, obviously, we know that producers have plans so many years in advance, and obviously Starlight was
there
in the works.
However, what I would say is when the London production of Newsies closed in July 2023, the show was teased for a return to the UK, as at the final performance, Tristan Baker, one of the producers of Newsies, said, "That's it for Wembley. We'll see you next year."
Yeah.
And then on the show's website, it also says "bye for now, but not for forever."
Yeah. So there was rumours that it was going to go, because isn't there a thing that Drury Lane is always a Disney?
Okay, yeah.
So there was rumours that it was going to go in after Frozen.
Okay.
Hercules is currently
However, Hercules doesn't seem to be going very well, so it might not be in there for very long.
Hercules is only in until February.
Yeah.
So it is a short run.
And I don't see it staying for a long time. So if you're wanting to go, you need to go.
But then, because this version of Newsies was so immersive,
yeah,
I don't think it could go into Drury Lane. So
it'll have to adapt, won't it? It wouldldn't be a round. You couldn't do it in the round again.
And then people were talking, maybe that means it's going to go on tour, but I'm not sure how it would tour. I
would have thought
it would have.
If I was a producer, I'd be putting it into town first before I take it out on tour. Like, it's still got legs, even if you have to adapt the immersive in the round style. You would adapt it, wouldn't you? Put it in town for a period, and then because it's already adapted, then it's easy enough to take out and put on the road.
True.
Is what I would do.
Well, that's
and we know that they listen to our podcast. Interestingly, the Broadway production cost $5 million to stage, but Newsies recouped its initial investment in 7 months, becoming the fastest of any of the Disney musicals on Broadway to turn a profit. And that makes so much sense, doesn't it? Because when you think about Disney productions, they are so lavish and so massive and so expensive. It must be quite difficult to turn a profit on those shows.
But then there's not a huge amount of costumes or sets
for Newsies.
Or there's a lot of actors. There's a
lot
of
actors. That's true.
There's a lot of newspapers, but there's not the Beauty and the Beast, the massive costumes or set pieces which need to be moved. So it probably, out of all of them, is the one that's going to make them.
That's true. That's true.
Profit.
And funny you mentioned large cast. I remember in the London production, a lot was made on social media about the sheer amount of swings and the role that the swings had within that show, and the injuries, and the not out of any safekeeping issue, just it's a really physical show for those boys and girls. And girls. Which was a new. Have you got something on that later? But I thought, that's right, because they were really championed, weren't they? And they were put front and center, and it was like, without these swings, this isn't happening, folks. Which I thought was really lovely.
And a lot of, if you want to research Newsies, a lot of the behind the scenes is all about the camaraderie of the boys, either in Broadway or West End, all working together. And I think that's where a lot of fans love to see it, and that's where there was a lot of hype around the show too.
Yeah, and it totally echoes the true events that inspired the show, that camaraderie. And that was my first musical lyrical lingo, in that I had no idea about this Newsboy Strike in 1899.
So you hadn't watched the 1993
film?
No,
I had never watched the film.
Have you watched it since? No. Because there's some songs, but not all of the
that's it. So for the stage production, it featured 7 new songs that weren't included in the original film. So Newsies is based on this real-life newsboy strike of 1899. Children who sold newspapers on the streets were called Newsies. So there was a lot of almost like a glossary of the phrases or the slang that they used. So the New York Newsies went up against the 2 newspaper publishers of the time, Joseph Pulitzer of The World and William Randolph Hearst of The Journal. I love his name. William Randolph Hearst. Love that. To fight for fair wages. The Spanish-American War had made New Yorkers hungry for headlines at the time, and circulation boomed as a result. Then, once the war ended, people were less inclined to buy the newspapers. War was bad for the world, but was good for the newspaper business. So the strike was a result of the newspaper publishers refusing to lower the prices.
Yeah.
They actually put them up. I think it went from 50 cents to 60 cents.
Yeah, it was 50 cents to 60. It was obviously said the real life, and it had been hiked up during the Spanish-American War because people were buying more, so they had the perfect opportunity to make more money.
Yeah.
And then the newsboys felt that it was now too difficult to sell the papers without the excitement of war.
Yeah.
So that the price now needed to be dropped, and they refused to drop it.
Yeah. Yeah, so they weren't willing to pay more for their papers to make up for the lack of the headlines. So they decided to strike. Their goal was to make the newspaper tycoons recognize them as legitimate members of the business and to treat them as such. The strike lasted 2 weeks, from July 19th to August 2nd, 1899. And during that time, the New York Newsies drew support from Newsies all over the northeast of America.
Yeah.
Now, the Newsies eventually did come to a compromise with the publishers. They would purchase their papers at the higher price, but the publishers would buy back any of the papers that the Newsies couldn't sell.
Yeah.
And this actually was much more valuable to the Newsies rather than lowering the prices of the papers. The Newsboy Strike is a significant moment in history, though, because it is one of the first strikes that was carried out by children and one of the first strikes that ended in compromise.
Yeah.
You know, the kids won.
Yeah, they did.
So I didn't know. I didn't know anything about the strikes.
Yeah,
Obviously, hadn't watched the movie or.
I knew it was
any of
in
that.
real life, but I didn't know what the actual strike was. Now, obviously, the musical changes it slightly, that they've just hiked up the price. There's not the background story of the war.
Yeah.
And also, Jack Kelly isn't a real person, but he's based. He's like an amalgamation of several of the historical newsboy leaders. And in the film, there is a focus on who was the main leader, but he's not in the musical. So there's that change.
Yeah.
I watched the film years ago, but haven't watched it recently. Obviously, the pro shot used to be on Disney Plus. It's not on Disney Plus anymore, but the film still is, if anybody's interested. There's a female journalist, which I love. I love her character. And she's called Catherine Plummer.
Yeah.
Even though she is fictional, she is named after Pulitzer's daughter, who was called Catherine Ethel. Now, she died in history of like pneumonia. But I thought that was a nice little nod, I suppose, to real life.
And in her number, Watch What Happens, like a lot of her lines refer to the fact that she's a female reporter. So she sings, so they say, all I know is I don't know what to write or the right way to write. And that's like, it was uncommon for women to have a writing job during that time. And naturally people of the time would also have said that she wasn't doing the right thing because she was a female. Yeah. And then she also sings about vaudeville, I'm reviewing, and it wasn't common for women to work during the time. So naturally they had stuck Catherine on writing reviews rather than actual stories or articles, and I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah. And I like the fact that Catherine is a fiery character in this, and she does a really good job of her role, because there, as we've mentioned, there were female newsgirls. Yeah. But the film and the musical exclude them. Yeah. Until the London production.
Yeah, that's right.
Where they decided that the
it was one of the named characters, wasn't it?
No,
and then
the
a group.
Gang.
Yeah.
The whole gang.
Yeah, so there
Brooklyn
was
crew.
Yeah, so there was one named character that was cast as a girl, and then the Brooklyn crew were all girls.
All female.
Yeah.
And I think then from then it has now been, because there's Newsies Junior, where a lot of the characters can be played by either or.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's great. But I love that actually a wee bit of change, but has now recognised that there was news girls, and just by changing that, girls can now be in what was predominantly a male show.
That's
with
it.
one girl.
And fun fact with regards to Catherine's number, Watch What Happens, she describes it as David and Goliath, do or die. This trouble between the publishers and the Newsies, and actually papers covering the news of the Newsboy Strikes in 1899, including the Sun newspaper, really did compare it as to David and Goliath. So I thought that was quite a nice nod to like the actual historical headlines.
Yeah, I like that on this occasion, you know, the underdogs got a compromise.
Yeah.
And especially because one of my musical ergolingos was just kind of learning a little bit more about Joseph Pulitzer and William Randolph Hearst. And you kind of expect that they would have just gone, that's okay, we'll sell newspapers anyway. But actually they did realise that these young homeless, you know, boys were doing them a favour, and they wouldn't have been able to sell as many as they did. So Joseph was actually a Hungarian-American newspaper publisher and journalist, and he, as we will know the name, he established the Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah.
He owned and transformed the New York World into a leading newspaper. And then William Randolph Hearst, he is one of those men that seem to have done everything. A businessman, newspaper publisher, and a politician. He was given control of the San Francisco Examiner in 1887 by his father, and then he transformed this paper with high-profile writers such as Mark Twain.
Okay, yeah.
And then he got the New York Journal. But he is the one that we would thank now, or for the sensationalized headlines, which is what was called yellow journalism.
Oh, okay.
So he was the one that started that, like saying something, and then obviously it doesn't necessarily, you know.
Well, my goodness, they're using that technique
using it today.
More and more. I am sick of clickbait and nonsense headlines, and then you click on the article and it doesn't even match. I'm like, what are you playing at? I went down a rabbit hole. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Rabbit warren into like the world of, what have I just said? Rabbit hole. Is it rabbit hole? Rabbit warren.
A rabbit warren? What is a rabbit warren?
Is a warren not like a home of rabbits? Like down the hole is called the warren. I think.
I've just never heard that expression.
I might be wrong. Yeah, no, I think I've got the expression wrong. Okay. But I think I've got the housing term correct. Anyway, and I just snorted. Oh my goodness. So the world of Newsies, I learned a lot. So they, in the show, like reference and talk about the distribution window. So that's like the location which Newsies would purchase their papers for the day. Each newspaper publisher had their own distribution window. Right. So then we also know that Newsies, as I've said, were young newspaper vendors. Interestingly, some Newsies were as young as 6 years old and worked long hours on the streets. They call papers papes. Yeah. So they like throughout the show, they're like pape, P-A-P-E, and that's just a slang term for newspaper. And then they also talk about scabs. And scabs were a slang term for individuals who took work when the regular employees were striking. So when the Newsies were striking, some tried to work or get the job anyway, and they were called the scabs or scabbers.
And that comes back in another musical, which is about a strike.
About a strike, another music. Oh, that's Billy Elliot.
Well done.
Yeah. Do they call them scabs, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe it's more in the film.
Ah, okay.
But yeah.
Very good.
So, there you go. In the song Banner.
Carrying the banner.
Carrying the banner.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm in shorthand right now. Banner.
Carrying the banner, folks, if you're wanting to listen to it at home.
As you've already mentioned, there's a lot of the language is just their informal language. Say. And he says, I like living chancy, which is just an informal way of saying like chance or risk or uncertainty. Yeah. Yeah. And then I always thought this was like somebody's name, where it's like Harlem to Delancey.
No, there are places in
No,
America.
I know. It's like from Harlem, which is upper New York, to Delancey, which is lower New York. But just the way that it said, I thought it was like another publisher. Harlem Delancey.
No.
So see, you're always learning.
That's it. They sing about Betcha Dinner is a doozy, about a pistol packing floozy.
Yeah.
So pistol packing floozy, that's hard to say, is a girl who is attractive but armed with a gun. A floozy is a girl or woman, especially one of disreputable character. They sing they mention a couple of things. They say it takes a smile that spreads like butter.
Yeah.
And butter was like the stuff of heavens for them because they were poor and like they didn't have those lovely
bread.
Yeah, exactly. They also say about it takes an orphan with a stutter who's also blind and mute and dead. And I thought that was really clever lyrics because these guys are referencing the fact that some of the best ways of selling something to someone is to make them pity you.
Yeah.
So the Newsies loved using people's kindness against them, by pretending to be injured. And if they were injured,
like Crutchy,
naturally they want. Now Crutchy didn't, but naturally a lot of newsboys were known to want to stay that way.
Yeah,
because it meant they sold more. More newspapers. I also love the line, "How about a crooked politician?" And then one of the Newsies says, "You nitwit, that ain't news no more."
Yeah.
And just that, I thought it was funny. It made me laugh, that idea of the Newsies telling Elmer, this ain't new, because everyone knows how deranged politicians are.
Yeah.
They are so common that you find a crooked politician that is not interesting news anymore. I thought,
back in 1899 and still nowadays.
I'm saying no more.
Have you got anything else?
No. We've mentioned it before, but Santa Fe, obviously Santa Fe probably gets the biggest name check in musical theatre, doesn't it? But it made me laugh because they sing about it, grass is always greener, right? But then they also mention about a city made of clay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Santa Fe is basically clay based.
Yeah.
And I thought,
well.
I was like, that's really hilarious. Grass is greener. Not necessarily. They also sing, "Hey, no more worries about no gimp leg in Santa Fe." Now, Crutchy, a character, is disabled. But they say you just hop a Palomino, you'll ride in style. Now, didn't think of the time period or anything like that, but naturally when I first heard Palomino on the cast recording way back, I thought of a car, something fancy like a car, and it's just actually a breed of horse that originates from Spain. Did you know that's what a Palomino was?
No.
Okay, I don't feel so daft now.
No. There you go.
Did you think it was a
car?
Okay.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't a car.
Maybe like a wee train or a wee tram or something. Yeah. Well, it's actually a Spanish breed of horse. So there you go.
Lovely. There's obviously we've mentioned it's a big dancey show, so there's a lot of dance breaks. So a lot of the numbers are just music, and one's called Fighting Irish.
Yeah.
And obviously we've kind of heard that term forever.
Yeah.
But really, whenever Americans know of Fighting Irish, it's in connection to the Notre Dame football, which obviously is after this, but it was first coined for the Irish immigrant soldiers who fought for the Union during the Civil War, and it just means that there's the spirit of the Irish. We're never completely knocked out. We're always there. So like the Newsies, they're not going to be knocked out. They've got the fighting spirit in them.
So they took strength from the Irish.
So it was really derogatory to be Irish, as people used it they didn't want Irish near them. So the fact that these people who were seen as probably low are going, no, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight for our right to party.
Don't mess with us, folks. We fighters. The bottom line,
Mm-hmm.
which Pulitzer is singing about, he sings, just a modest adjustment can fatten the bottom line. And that idea of bottom line actually refers to the final amount of money a business or a company has acquired from a certain transaction.
Yep.
So that's the bottom line. Did you know that?
I run my own business.
Oh my goodness, of course you do. See, that's why I don't.
Yeah.
I would be terrible at running my own business.
I'm self-employed. I need to check my bottom line.
Oh my god, like honestly. Bottom line. What does that mean? What else have you learned?
That was me.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness,
I
no,
think
I've
there was
loads.
a lot of this slang, which whenever I was going over it again, I kind of I knew it or figured it out type thing. But no, there wasn't a huge amount more learning.
Well, in the world we'll know.
Mm-hmm.
They sing, even though we ain't got hats or badges.
Yeah.
I keep putting a wee Bronx accent on. I love the way they sing and talk in this show.
Very Jeremy Jordan there. You're really.
Was I?
Yeah.
Even though we ain't got hats or badges.
Yeah.
Interestingly, and you mentioned at the beginning, we need to have our caps for this. It's quite funny, this line, because obviously all of the Newsies are wearing matching headwear,
Yes.
right? But of course, during that time, there was a difference between hats and caps.
Yes.
They were very different things. So hats showed wealth and mostly worn by people of the upper class. However, all the Newsies, they wore their caps, typically worn by people of the lower class. And interesting today, caps and hats have no difference in meaning anymore. Do you know what I mean? So I just thought that's really interesting that once upon a time there was a real massive marked difference between somebody wearing a hat and somebody wearing a cap, and now you're like,
And it was the taller the hat.
that's it.
Not necessarily showed like where you were at Hearst in that word. But yes, it was lower to your head.
Yeah,
You probably were of lower class.
that's it. Yeah.
Have you been watching The Gilded Age?
No,
Or not?
no, I know, and you're the second person to say that, so I really do need to get on to it.
You're like
Yeah.
3 series behind. I think
Yeah.
you'd love it.
I think I would too. I know I would. I will start it because I've been told to watch it.
Well, there we go.
They also sing "What's It Gonna Take to Stop the Scabbers," and as I said to you, what scabs were. In the real strike of 1899, Newsies often beat up the scabs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, until the leader or one of the leaders at the time, Kid Blink,
Yes. Yep.
whom Jack Kelly in the musical's roughly based upon.
he
As you
is
said, it's a
featured,
mixture of...
yes, and he
So
is-
he's the one featured in the
He's
movie.
featured in the movie.
Okay, so they would have beat the scabs up back in the day until, this Kid Blink told them to stop the brutality because he wanted them to stick together, not to fight. So there you go. Break the Will of Mighty Bill and Joe.
Yeah.
Bill, short for William Hearst. Joe, Joseph Pulitzer. And The World Will Know
Yep.
is a really interesting double meaning because you've got the world, the newspaper, the Pulitzer publication, and then the world would know about these Newsies. We've mentioned it. They sing about when the circulation bell starts ringing, will we hear it? So we know what the circulation bell is. No, we don't. Haven't spoken about the circulation bell. Spoke about the window.
Yeah.
So the circulation bell was a bell that rang when they needed to start delivering the newspapers.
Yeah.
And that line, Jack Kelly is kind of saying that when they're striking, when the bell goes, they won't hear it or they'll ignore it. Yeah. Now they're going to see what stop the presses really means. And I thought, oh, that's an interesting, saying stop the presses in print journalism means the printing of an edition stops halfway to give way for a very important or breaking news story. Then in King of New York, I love King of New York, and it's a brilliant tap number. It's absolutely brilliant. They sing, you don't need money when you're famous. They give you whatever you want gratis.
Yeah.
And gratis means without charge. Like, so if you think about famous people today, like they get complimentary things just because of their fame. They get it on gratis.
I know.
And they say it like that, gratis, in the show, and I love it. They sing permanent box at the Sheep's Head races. So Sheep's Head Bay racetrack was an American thoroughbred horse racing facility. Only the rich people would have got the boxes at the Sheephead races. I love this line. My personal puss on a wooden nickel. Do you know what a puss is?
Yep.
So the word puss is slang for face.
Ah, okay.
So Finch, who sings that line, wants to see his face inscribed on also a wooden nickel. Because like nickels would be metal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. And then I think it's my last one because I've bored you to death. Yeah. The last one from King of New York, they sing Scray.
Okay.
Okay, or they say Scray. And Scray, A-M and then S-C-R-A-Y just means to scram in something called Pig Latin. Have you heard of this?
Pig Latin?
So, Pig Latin was created in the late 1800s by kids like the Newsies who wanted to speak without the adults understanding them.
Love it.
So they made up their own Pig Latin.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. We secret language.
We secret language.
Love it. That's great.
I sometimes think kids today have like
course
Pig
they do.
Latin. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
All this slay,
I'm
riz,
I'm
cooked. You're cold. And I'm like, no, I'm perfect temperature. Thank you very much. But cold means like really cool. Like you're cold.
Yeah. I know.
It totally blows my mind.
The cooked one gets me because it's like I'm cooked. I'm cooked, and I'm like, what do you mean? Do you mean you're good at that, or do you mean that you're stressed out? Or just talk normally. What is it you're trying to say?
And then to finish us off on that, on the P7 residential, they were trying to educate me on all these things, right?
Okay.
All these random, really weird, what is it they call it? They call it brain rot.
Yeah.
I'm like, even the fact you call it brain rot speaks volumes here, folks.
Yeah.
Like, this is nonsense. But then one of them said, you're so nonchalant. And I went, I'm sorry. Hold on. If you think you have invented this word nonchalant, I hate to tell you, but it's been around for they couldn't believe it. They were like, what? I was like, no. Nonchalant is a word. It is in the dictionary.
Yeah.
You haven't made this one up, okay? Yeah. They couldn't quite understand
it. It's all like things that they do, facial expressions and then mannerisms that they do as well, like the mewing and all of that. It's all bizarre. It's just another sign that we are old.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I feel extremely old.
That Newsies is such a fun musical.
Love it.
Really fun, and it's a really fun one to do with kids. And like I said, there's Newsies Juniors. There's loads of productions on all the time, and it's great. There is the Pro Shot. It's not currently free at the moment.
I thought it was on Disney Plus.
No, it's not.
Because I was going to go back and watch it after this pod.
It's been taken off. You got
Why? Is it on Netflix?
No, I checked Netflix too. It's on YouTube, but you got to pay for it.
That's weird. Yeah. Why would Disney take Newsies off their own streaming platform? That makes no sense whatsoever.
It is weird.
Yeah.
Do you want what would Patty do?
Are we doing stand and O's?
Oh yeah, sorry, stand and O's. I forgot about that. What are your stand and O's?
It's really hard because I really like all the biggies, like Carry the Banner and The World Will Know. Ba-da-dum-bum-bum. And I love Seize the Day. Now is the time to seize it. And King of New York. Yeah. But I also like Catherine's number. Yeah. And I'm now just mentioning every number in the show. Yeah. What I do love about it, and what I probably think is a stand innovation, is probably the choreography from the original production. And I remember one of the numbers is at Seize the Day, where they stand on newspapers and then they like spread their legs and they rip the newspaper in half. So they're like the two bits of the newspaper are still under their feet, and then they continue to like slide their feet around, and it's like they're on skates or something. But it's very clever.
Yeah.
But
and
it also
move, and then there's enough newspaper there for the person beside them.
Exactly, and they swap and all that.
And it's brilliant. There's the Tony version that whenever they did it in the Tonys, it's on YouTube,
Yeah.
and you can watch it.
I love it, and the acrobat, like my heart's in my mouth. I hate all that tumbling nonsense, but it looks really good when it's done properly and together. That's what I realized about the Newsies. They were so together in their choreography, but then that fits with the storyline. They were so together.
That's what one of my salvations is the fact that it's a real ensemble show.
Yeah,
and then they, as you mentioned before, they can do it without their swings and their understudies and their alternates. And it is such a family-based show. And I think even the way they bow together.
I was about to say,
little dance section. So that's what I think. That's my salvation, is the actual show and how they show their ensemble. And
I also loved the original set. It was literally just almost like a
steps,
and a frame, like a steel frame, like almost, what's that called, like scaffolding, But I can't remember what number it was. Was it The World Will Know, maybe? Where they've been doing stuff, and then they all get in amongst the frame. So and there's like different levels to it, and then they're all in it in like their own wee pictures and stuff, and then the frame just moves forward right to the front of the staging, or the stage, and I just thought, that's like so epic and like strong, and like we're coming. That's why I think it might be The World Will Know.
I think it is.
And it's just like so like wow. So those moments are probably the standing ovations for me.
Yeah, hopefully it returns. I think it will return.
Yeah.
I mean, if the producers,
you can't say that, and you can't have that on the, what's it called, the website.
But it is 2025. It's not coming this year.
Yeah.
Obviously. But I mean, it was 2023 whenever it left.
Yeah, I know.
So I feel like if it said that, it was coming sooner rather than later. But maybe it is a big show and it needs venue. And
that's it. I suppose there's so many like curveballs that can be thrown in.
And I suppose people have a thing where the Troubadour isn't technically West End. So it hasn't made it to West End yet.
But I don't think it'll go back into the Troubadour, because I don't think Starlight Express is going to go anywhere soon.
No, you think it's there for
I think
time?
So, yeah. Well, I mean, they've just done a big cast change, haven't they? So I think, I might be wrong, but I kind of think with shows like Starlight Express, so much has to be invested into the show in that they have to do skate school, and like there's more to, it's not the normal kind of rehearsal process where you can maybe get the cast up and running in like a 2-week, 4-week rehearsal process. There is, you have to go to skate school. There's so much that goes into preparing them to, if they've gone to that hassle for another cast. You would think they're there for at least another year.
It lasted in Germany.
Yeah.
So,
and when it was in the Victoria Apollo share the last time, it was there for a long time. Yeah.
Okay.
I would love to go to the Germany one now.
I would love to go to German West End just to experience it.
Yeah.
I know it's not called the West End, but German
maybe we should do that as like a musical lyrical lingo podcast trip.
Let's do it. We'll do it. People can come along.
Yeah.
Okay, what would Patty do?
I don't know.
No, this is for you. Like, as in, the question is
okay.
For you. Okay, would you like to be part of the Newsies national tour? Okay. You're just in the ensemble, or...
What?
Yeah. Would you like to choreograph Seize the Day with the original cast, or any of the numbers?
Both of those options fill me with absolute fear, because my body's not up for
performing,
being in the ensemble of Newsies. Like,
But you could probably just be one person that brings one person.
I like creak and crack when I like get up in the morning. I can't actually get out of the chair without making this noise. Like that. Those are the noises I now make for just doing normal day-to-day things. Do you know what I mean?
Like, say you were at the height of,
and then and then the other extreme, like, talk about imposter syndrome. I'd be standing in front of those boys going, like, this is a joke that I'm standing in front of you asking you to do my choreography.
You have to take that. It wouldn't be because you're very good at what you do.
Yeah, but no. Like, think about who you're talking about here.
Yeah, I am, but you would have to put that all aside, and you're there for a reason. You've been chosen because you're the best.
I think for a performer and a dancer, there's very few shows that would rival Newsies. Do you not think? I think I'd go into the ensemble.
Would you?
Yeah. I put my wee cap on, and I love the wee bags that they put over their wee shoulders as well. It's dead cute. Like, I'd love to be able to jete now the way they do.
Go on, go do it now.
I dead on. I also have never been able to do a flip, but sure, I give me that newspaper. I'll split it in half and do the wee. To be fair, in stage school one year we did that number and we used some of the original choreography, and like we did get the newspapers into stage school and we had so much fun. Like, we had so much fun in class trying it out, and we were learning it at the same time as the kids learning it. So it was just lovely. Like, it was lovely to do that. Do you know what I mean? Oh, it's a special wee show. Like,
it's a great show. Really, really, really great show.
I'm really annoyed it's been taken off streaming again.
I know, but when it only...
What do I pay my subscription for if I can't see Newsies live?
I know. We need all the musicals.
Is it because they've now put Frozen live on that they've taken Newsies off?
But I mean,
they need to wind their neck in. I'm writing a letter.
Hamilton's still on.
I'm writing a letter.
You write a letter.
It's disgraceful.
Okay.
I can't understand. It's a Disney.
I know.
Disney theatrical, and they're taking their own work off their streaming platform.
I don't understand. But more pro shots need to happen. There needs to be a better streaming service where pro shots are available.
But do you not think that time's coming? Look at the number of pro shots that have happened in the last couple of years. Like, it is the tide is changing, and I think it's because of ticket prices. And I think producers are now realising we got to do this to keep our work going.
Also, pro shops don't take away from people buying ticket prices.
Not
it
at
just
all.
Makes it more accessible to people to see your work.
If anything, I think surely it has to do the opposite. If you see the pro shot and you go, oh my goodness, I absolutely love that, you immediately go, I have to see it live. Yeah. I have to, excuse the Hamilton pun, but be in the room where it happened.
Yeah, and I agree.
Yeah, the National Theatre Live have released their new programs of productions that they're putting on there. I love that. Yeah, I love a wee National Theatre Live jobby.
But that's it. They have to realise that not everybody can travel in and see, and also even if it is a special occasion, you still don't always get
1,000%
to pay the prices because it is just a wee bit ridiculous. So hopefully there's more comes from those shots. And I also feel for the actors, like they are doing that 8 shows a week and they don't have anything.
That's it.
Tangible.
Yep.
From it.
No, 1,000%.
Because they don't always get a cash recording. So it feels like you should get one or the other, doesn't it?
Honestly, like, I kind of feel we are like what's the word?
Are we Newsies in it? I said that weird. Are we starting like a union?
Yeah, we are a bit like that, aren't we? Like that, we're like a musical theatre, like union, driving for what is right and what is good.
This is what we want, people.
This is what the people want. Yeah. I mean, we're speaking on your behalf, but I'm sure.
I'm sure that's what.
Yeah.
Just drop us a wee message.
Who do we think we are?
Where musical lyrical ain't go.
That's true. And listen, you're going to have a wee break from us again.
Yes, just a short wee break.
Just a wee week or two, because full disclosure, at time of recording, I'm about to go into a youth project. So I'm going to need to lie down. Now, when this episode comes out, the youth project will be over. But sure, hey-ho, that's recording for you folks.
Yeah.
All the biz that goes on in the background.
We'll have an exciting episode whenever we do come back. And we will have a really exciting, second part of this.
Yeah,
podcast,
the second half of this year looks fun.
Yeah.
We haven't had the guests this year that we had last year, but that's because there's so many to come in the second half of the year, which is going to be really fun. Because let's be honest, nobody wants to listen to us week in, week out. They want to hear
some people do.
from other people that are much more interesting than us.
It's lovely to have variety.
Variety's the spice of life.
It is.
On that.
Well, thank you for listening, and we'll be back in your ears in a week or two.
Yeah, I'm going to go into a cold room and rock myself back and forward with the thought of the next fortnight. It's Grease as well. My favourite musical. Do you remember back to that podcast we did on Grease and how we absolutely ripped it to shreds?
Yeah. Have fun.
Thanks. Until then, if I survive, you'll see me back.
Okay.
If not, CJ will be stepping in because she's all flipping loved her, didn't you? Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Tune in as the memories grow.